Hello dear students, I will be discussing presentation of financial statements. Go to study note number 2, presentation of financial statements as per schedule 3 of Companies Act 2013. Today I will discuss about equity and liabilities. Part 1, form of balance sheet, equity and liabilities. Below you have four heads. First is shareholders funds. Second is share application money, pending allotment. Third is non-current liabilities, and fourth is current liabilities. So we'll discuss each and every head and subhead in detail. Schedule 3, disclosure requirements, equity and liabilities. Below that, first is shareholders funds. Under shareholders fund, first one is share capital, authorized, issued, subscribed, called up and paid up. You are supposed to give detailed information, that is number of shares as well as value of all these classifications. Face or par value as per capital clause in memorandum of association should be disclosed. Reconciliation of number of shares and amount for both equity and preference shares. List of shareholders holding more than 5% of shares as on the balance sheet date is to be disclosed. So in case of share capital, you are supposed to prepare a separate note. In the note, you are supposed to give the details about authorized, issued, subscribed, called up and paid up share capital, number of shares as well as value. Similarly, reconciliation of number of shares and amount for both equity and preference shares should be given by way of note. That is opening balance plus shares issued during the year minus redemption or buyback, whatever may be the case, and closing balance. That is how the statement of reconciliation is to be prepared. Now, shareholders fund. Second subhead is reserves and surplus. Capital reserve, capital redemption reserve, securities premium, that is share premium, revaluation reserve, general reserve, reserve fund, profit and loss account, etc. Any type of reserve will come under the head reserves and surplus, and this is below shareholders fund. Second classification under shareholders funds. Appropriation to the profit for the year including carried forward balance is to be presented under the main head reserves and surplus. Under schedule 3, the statement of profit and loss will no longer reflect any appropriations like dividend transferred to reserve, bonus shares, etc. Profit and loss account debit balance, that is loss. Debit balance statement of profit and loss account shall be shown as negative figure under the head surplus. Similarly, the balance of reserves and surplus after adjusting negative balance of surplus, if any, shall be shown under the head reserves and surplus even if the resulting figure is in negative. So in case of loss, it is to be shown as negative figure under the head reserves and surplus. Even if the net figure after adjusting the loss is negative, still it is to be shown under the head reserves and surplus in negative. Now under shareholders funds, the third head is money received against share warrants. In case of listed companies, share warrants are issued to promoters as per SEBI guidelines. Share warrants are amounts which would ultimately form part of shareholders funds. Since shares are yet to be allotted against the same, these are not reflected as part of share capital but as a separate line item. Money received against share warrants. To the promoters of the company, share warrants are given. If money is received from these promoters, it is to be shown as separate line item because as the shares are not issued, you cannot consider it as share capital. Once the shares are issued, these share warrants will get converted into share capital. Under equity and liabilities, second head is share application money pending allotment. Application money received from shareholders for which allotment has not been made. To be shown as a separate line item on the face of the balance sheet, share application money not exceeding the issued capital and to the extent not refundable is to be disclosed as a separate line item after shareholders' funds and before non-current liabilities. If the company's issued capital is more than authorized capital and approval of increase in authorized capital is pending, the amount of share application money received over and above authorized capital should be shown under the head Other Current Liabilities. The amount shown as share application money pending allotment will not include share application money to the extent refundable. Such amount will have to be shown separately under other current liabilities. Calls paid in advance are to be shown under other current liabilities. The amount of interest which may accrue on such advance should also be reflected as a liability. Now, third subhead under equity and liabilities is non-current liabilities. First subhead under non-current liabilities is long-term borrowings. Long-term borrowings shall be classified as bonds and debentures, term loans from banks and from other parties. Loans with repayment period beyond 36 months are usually known as term loans. So, cash credit, overdraft, and call money account deposits are not covered by term loans. Deferred payment liabilities. Deferred payment liabilities would include any liability for which payment is to be made on deferred credit terms. For example, deferred sales tax liability, deferred payment of acquisition of fixed assets, etc. Deposits. Deposits classified under borrowings would include deposit accepted from public and intercorporate deposits which are in the nature of borrowings, loans and advances from related parties, long-term maturities of finance, lease obligations, other loans and advances. You have to specify the nature of these loans and advances. Borrowing shall further be subclassified as secured and unsecured. Nature of security shall be specified separately in each case. Where loans have been guaranteed by directors or others, the aggregate amount of such loan under each head shall be disclosed. Under non-current liabilities, the second subhead is deferred tax liabilities to be shown as separate line item on the face of the balance sheet. Third, under non-current liabilities is other long-term liabilities, trade payables, sundry creditors for goods and services and acceptances should be disclosed as part of trade payables. Others, amount due under contractual obligations, for example, payables in respect of statutory obligations like contribution to provident fund, purchase of fixed asset, contractually reimbursable expenses, interest accrued on trade payables, etc., should be classified as others, and each such item should be disclosed nature wise. Now, under non current liabilities, fourth one is long term provisions. Below that, provision for employee benefits and others, these are subheads. Under equity and liabilities, fourth subhead is current liabilities. Under current liabilities, first subhead is short-term borrowings. Short-term borrowings shall be classified as loans repayable on demand from banks and other parties, Loans and advances from related parties, deposits, other loans and advances. You have to specify nature of these loans and advances. Short-term borrowings will include all loans within a period of 12 months from the date of the loan. Loans payable on demand, etc., but will not include current maturity of long-term borrowings, which should be treated only as other current liabilities. Borrowings shall further be subclassified as secured and unsecured. Nature of security shall be specified separately in each case. Where loans have been guaranteed by directors or others, the aggregate amount of such loan under each head shall be disclosed. In case of short-term borrowings, all defaults existing as at the date of balance sheet should be disclosed. This disclosure should be item wise. Period and amount of default as on balance sheet date in repayment of loan and interest shall be separately disclosed in each case. Now, second head under current liabilities is trade payables. Trade payables shall be classified as total outstanding dues of micro enterprises and small enterprises and total outstanding dues of creditors other than micro enterprises and small enterprises. Liability towards employees, leases, or other contractual liabilities should not be included under trade payables. Only commercial dues can be included under trade payables. Liability for capital goods purchases, amount due towards purchase disclosed under other current liabilities with a suitable description. Now, under current liabilities, the third head is other current liabilities. Other current liabilities shall be classified as current maturities of long-term debt, current maturities of finance lease obligations, interest accrued but not due on borrowings, interest accrued and due on borrowings, income received in advance, that is pre-received income, unpaid dividends, application money received for allotment of securities and due for refund and interest outstanding on the same, unpaid matured deposits and interest accrued thereon, unpaid matured debentures and interest accrued thereon, other payables, you are supposed to specify nature here, the portion of long-term dates or lease obligation which is due for payment within 12 months of reporting date is required to be classified under other current liabilities, while the balance amount should be classified under long-term borrowings. Now, the fourth subhead under current liabilities is short-term provision. Short-term provision shall be classified as provision for employee benefits and others. Others includes provision for dividend, provision for taxation, provision for warranties, etc. Notes to accounts. This is about contingent liabilities. Contingent liabilities and commitments to the extent not provided for. Contingent liability shall be classified as claims against the company not acknowledged as debt, guarantees, other money for which the company is contingently liable. Commitments shall be classified as estimated amount of contracts remaining to be executed on capital account and not provided for, uncalled liability on shares and other investments partly paid, other commitments. You are supposed to specify the nature of this. These contingent liabilities and commitments are to be shown as note to the accounts. Contingent liability is not real liability which may arise or may not arise on happening of certain specific future event. It is to be disclosed by way of note and not to be considered as a real liability. Now again, notes to accounts disclosure requirement. What notes you are supposed to disclose? the amount of dividend proposed to be distributed to equity and preference shareholders for the period and the related amount per share shall be disclosed separately and not to be shown in the balance sheet. Proposed dividend per share is to be disclosed separately as notes to accounts. Where in respect of an issue of securities made for a specific purpose, the whole or part of the amount has not been used for the specific purpose at the balance sheet date, these shall be indicated by way of note how such unutilized amounts have been used or investment. If securities, that is shares or debentures, are issued for a specific purpose and some part or whole of the amount has not been utilized for that purpose on the balance sheet date, then how the money has been utilized or invested is to be disclosed by way of note. If, in the opinion of the board, any of the assets other than fixed assets and non current investments do not have a value on realization in the ordinary course of business at least equal to the amount at which they are stated, the fact that the board is of that opinion shall be stated. That means if the board of directors is of the opinion that other than fixed assets and non-current investments, so you can consider it as mostly current assets. If whatever value of the asset, current asset, is shown in the balance sheet and the value at which these current assets are realized, that is if by selling the asset, if company is will not get any amount on realization, then that opinion of the board of directors should be stated by way of notes to accounts. In this particular video, we have seen Schedule 3 requirements for equity and liabilities, disclosure requirement for each head and subhead under equity and liabilities, and notes to accounts for contingent liabilities and commitments. Thank you.